this video, we're building a dark chocolate dessert designed around aroma, contrast, and texture, not sweetness. We'll walk you through the full recipe first, and then we'll break down why these ingredients work together, using culinary and food science to guide the design.
Gently warm the oil with the chili to release aroma. Add the nuts, cocoa nibs, and agave, then let everything infuse slowly. Keep the heat low. This is about flavor, not cooking. Grind the sugar with the starch, then add it to the egg whites with the flour, cocoa powder, and oil. Just mix until combined. Add the aroma and let the batter rest briefly so it relaxes. Spread it thinly on a silicone mat or baking paper, keeping it even, and bake according to the recipe until crisp.
Combine the milk, eggs, and sugar in a heat-proof bowl and cook over bain-marie until you reach the temperature specified in the recipe. Add the chocolate, then the crema, and mix until smooth and fully combined. Refrigerate it until set. For the banana crema, grate frozen banana and gently fold into the crema.
Spoon or spread some cold chocolate custard onto a plate. Follow a pattern that feels natural to you. Use the back of the spoon to create movement and leave areas of the plate exposed for contrast. Add a small amount of banana crema over the custard, keeping it light so it softens the chocolate without covering it completely. Arrange the fresh raspberries in a loose, organic pattern, then spoon on the cells and making sure to get a balance of oil and crunch with each bite. Place the cocoa tuile in an arrangement you prefer, adding height and structure to the dessert. Sprinkle lightly with the ground hibiscus sugar mixture and finish with fresh mint tips or fine chiffonade for freshness.
We choose Ancho because it brings depth without heat. Dried chilies develop roasted, fruity aromatics that sit naturally next to dark chocolate. You'll see beta-aranone on the screen. It's one of the compounds that links Ancho to cocoa-like notes. Used this way, behave like an aromatic spice, not a spicy chili.
Banana isn't here just for sweetness. It adds softness and moisture, which is important when you're working with very dark chocolate. Aromatically, ripe banana is dominated by isoamyl acetate, that gentle fruity note that you see here. It helps connect the chocolate and the dairy and keeps the dessert feeling round.
Raspberry is here to lift the whole dessert. Chocolate and dairy can feel heavy, so we need acidity and bright fruit to reset the palate. On screen, you'll see the raspberry ketone is part of what gives raspberries that intense red fruit character. That contrast keeps the chocolate tasting cleaner, not dense.
The crema is what ties everything together. It softens bitterness and gives a smooth base that carries aroma, because fat helps flavor travel. You see diacetyl on screen. It's associated with those subtle buttery dairy notes. Without this layer, the same chocolate and fruit would feel sharper and more angular.
Most desserts start with sugar and get adjusted as you go. We like to work the other way around. We start with the structure and bitterness of dark chocolate. Then we use acidity, fat, and texture to make that bitterness feel balanced and enjoyable.
For us, once sweetness stops being the starting point, chocolate behaves very differently. When we work with higher cocoa percentage, there's less sugar and more cocoa solids, which brings depth and intensity, but also makes the dessert less forgiving. At that point, bitterness isn't just something you taste, it's something you smell and feel as well. Dark chocolate carries a lot of roasted, nutty, and toasted aromatics, many of them coming from compounds like pyrazine that develop during fermentation and roasting. These aromas are powerful and complex, but they also need restraint. If everything around them isn't doing its job, they can feel dry, sharp, and even a little aggressive instead of rich and inviting.
That's where cocoa powder becomes really important for us in a dessert like this. Cocoa powder reinforces those same chocolate aromatic, again, a lot of roasted and nutty notes without adding more sweetness. But on its own, cocoa powder can really feel flat or astringent because aroma compounds don't travel very well on their own. So we're always thinking about what's surrounding the chocolate. Fat to carry aroma, moisture to soften bitterness, and acidity to lift everything so it doesn't feel heavy. When those elements are working together, the chocolate stays expressive and layered instead of dominating the whole dessert.
Our process always starts with one ingredient, in this case chocolate. From there, we use aroma science to understand what naturally works with it, whether that means shared compounds or deliberate contrast. That gives us directions before we think about sweetness or form.
Once the aromatic structure is clear, we design the rest around it. Soft versus crunchy textures, warm and cold elements, and finally how everything comes together visually on the plate. The goal is a dessert that makes sense from flavor to finish, not just something that tastes sweet. This dessert is very flexible. You can adjust the bitterness simply by changing the chocolate percentage. Lower percentages bring more sweetness and softness, while higher cocoa content pushes the dessert deeper and drier. The structure stays the same, only the balance shifts.
Raspberry isn't the only option here. Any fruit with acidity will work. Strawberries, citrus, or even passion fruit. What matters is contrast. The fruit should lift the chocolate and refresh the palate, not compete with it.
You can also adjust the texture without changing the dessert itself. Different crunches, cocoa nibs, nuts, or a thinner twirl change how the dessert is perceived. The fat you use matters too. A neutral oil keeps things clean, while a nut oil adds warmth and depth.
What we hope this recipe shows is that desserts don't have to rely on sweetness to feel complete, but designing with bitterness, acidity, healthy fats and textures, and using food and nutritional science to guide those choices, you can create something that's deeply satisfying while being gentler on blood sugar and easier to enjoy regularly. When that balance is intentional, pleasure becomes sustainable instead of occasional.
That's the idea behind what we call nutritional gastronomy. We use culinary technique together with food and nutritional science to design desserts that respect digestion, heart health, and long-term enjoyment without giving up flavor or experience. If there is an ingredient or dessert idea you're curious about, let us know in the comments. We read them, and they often shape what we explore next. In future videos, we keep looking at ingredients this way, not just how to use them, but how they work together.